rejoice and come in. Last week, we talked about this hymn, how we sing it one way and it's written a different way. The consensus is we like the way we've been singing it, so we're going to stick with our tradition and our norm and sing it the way we always have. So please rise as you are willing and able to sing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, number 361.
My name is Mark Petrie. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be one of the storytellers in today's multi-generational service. I'm filling in for Corey Cortez, who is our religious education coordinator, and she's ill today.
My name is Barb Eglinton. My pronouns are her, she. I will also be one of the storytellers today, as well as service leader.
And my name is Reverend Karen Madrone, and my pronouns are she and her, and I will also be one of today's storytellers.
At today's multi-generational service, we will use the story of Coco as we explore the concepts of traditions and blessings.
I welcome you all warmly to the Universalist Unitarian Church of Farmington. For those of you here in person and watching online, at this service, after the service, we invite you to share coffee and conversation with us downstairs in our reception hall. And this morning, we are delighted to have our younger congregants join us for this multi-gen service. This is a time for us to be together in ritual and song, moving our bodies and celebrating the joys of this diverse community. As is our tradition, we will share our joys and sorrows at the end of the service. You may come to the microphone to share or text your joy or sorrow or concern to the number in your order of service. Now, please take a moment to silence your cell phone, but do not turn it off. We encourage you to take photos or videos of today's service to share on social media. And now it's time for announcements. The first, I have an announcement that yesterday was Dave Petzel's birthday. So when you see Dave, congratulate him on his birthday. Other announcements.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Martin from Social Justice, stepping in for Marie. I wanted to let you know today is Caring Sunday, and we are doing collection in your order of service for Freedom House. As many of you know, this is a long-standing organization that we donate to as a congregation, and they're trying to build a new kitchen that they desperately need for the number of people that they're housing. So we're donating for that. And then also downstairs, you'll notice that there's a basket where we're collecting spices, because this is a hard to get product in the shelter. They really want to flavor their food, and they don't have a lot of options. So we're gonna be collecting that over the course of the month. So bring in spices, anything from salt and pepper to any type of spices from the Middle East or from Africa, but absolutely anything they will take and be extremely happy to have. But just so you notice for your Caring Sunday envelope, we're trying to make it easier for you to donate, so you can put a cash or check inside, but you can also scan this QR code and it will go right to Freedom House. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Karen Duguay, and I'm the chairperson of the fundraising committee. And I'm here to give a plug for the auction coming up and to invite everyone to participate. I was here Friday night when the congregation was together sharing their joys and their sorrows. And I was so impressed and so moved by the fact that the people in this congregation really named the auction as a really important part of their experience here. And not just coming to the auction, but going to the parties and enjoying all the benefits of that event. So I invite you to please get involved this year. There's so many ways you can donate. In the silent auction, you can donate a party, you could donate a service, you could donate your time and volunteer during helping us prep and get ready for it. If you want to get involved in any way, shape, or form, and you don't know how or what to do, see me. You can go online and donate and register that way as well. And if it's your first time coming, even if you've been here for 20 years as a member and you've never come, the party's on us, because you get to come free. So get on your glad rags and join us for the big event. Thank you.
Real quick add-on to that, and not as fun. I'm not dressed, sorry. Just please, yeah, I am dressed, but you know. Okay. Please use the links for registration and donation in either the e-blast this week or going forward, or the magnet. If you tried to log in last week, you might have been confused because the links were switched and donation took you to registration. And I know at least a couple people said, hey, what's going on? So this week, going forward, use those links as I know everybody's going to go and donate something. Also, just remember to check the magnet and the e-blast every week, because we have something new every week, new information.
Hi, Katie Coker, chair of the RE committee. You may be wondering why I'm dressed as Superman, or maybe not. But we are signing up for Treats on the Trail downstairs today. So if you have not experienced Treats on the Trail with our church, we have a nature trail around the back. I see a few new faces. So there's a nature trail that goes around in the woods. We put treat stations through the woods. We have treat stations in the parking lot. It's a huge party, tons of fun. Everybody dresses up, even if they don't have a station. It's awesome. If you want to sign up for bringing candy, bringing decorations, or hosting one of those spots, I will have a booth downstairs during coffee hour. Please come sign up. It's October 29th after service from 11:30 to 1. So even if you don't want to volunteer, please plan on being there. We appreciate you.
George Rourke for Building and Grounds. We're going to have a work party next Saturday from 9 to noon. It will not be nearly as much fun as the auction, but we're going to have some pitchforks and wheelbarrows, and we're going to move the mulch from the parking lot over into the playground. And we're also going to help clean up the trail for the event coming up later in the month. So next Saturday, 9 to noon, I'd like to have you help us. Thank you.
And last but not least, Liz Knight, board president. I just wanted to say a thank you to all of the people that came to the 2 days of our new minister kickoff retreat, both the Friday night session here with the larger congregation and as the Saturday session with the church leadership. It was great for me as a leader to hear all your stories, and as well to hear more about the history of the church for someone who's only been here for a handful of years. The announcement though, after coffee hour, during coffee hour, please come downstairs and make a plate to go. I have so many leftovers. Beef fajitas, chicken fajitas, baked chicken, other assorted things, please see me in the kitchen. We have takeout containers. Take lunch, take dinner. Yes, please help. Thank you.
And check your email blasts and magnet for other announcements.
Okay. Our chalice lighting words are our affirmation of mission. Let's read them together in the order of service as Reverend Karen lights the chalice. We seek answers everywhere, include everyone, and live with compassion. And if you are young or young at heart, please come up at front for the telling of the Coco story. Come on up. You can choose to be one of the 6 characters. We have them all right here.
Go ahead and take a character. We need 6 people to take one.
Okay, you've got Miguel there. Okay, good. Oh, you want to be a different one? Okay, you can change your mind. That's okay. So you are Imelda. Okay, you can be invisible. You can just observe if you like. That's fine too. We have 2 left. Who wants to be the last 2? You got the main character right there available.
Somebody needs to be Miguel.
How about it? Miguel, awesome.
Henry,
And we got one more.
do you want to be Mama Rivera?
Grandma?
Okay, Mama, she's not a significant in the story, so we can have her just stay on the side.
She's going to hang out by herself, okay. Our story is about a boy named Miguel Rivera. There he is, okay. His house was full of family, including his great-grandmother, Mama Coco. Hold up, Mama Coco. Ta-da. Miguel loved music and wanted to be a musician, just like his favorite musician, Ernesto de la Cruz. Ta-da, yes. But there was one rule in the Rivera household: no music. Every year on Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, his family shared the memories of relatives that had passed on, and they would tell the story of Miguel's great-great-grandma, Mama Imelda. Hold up, Imelda. Very good. Mama Imelda was married to a musician. They had a little girl named Coco. Here's Coco again. Mama Coco? Yeah. When she was a little girl, that's right. And they would sing and dance together as they counted their blessings. While Coco's father loved Mama Imelda and Coco, he had a dream to play his music for the world. And one day he left his family with his guitar and never returned. In anger and frustration, Mama Imelda banished all music from her life. Mama Imelda decided to make a living for her and her daughter by making shoes. She could have made candy or fireworks or sparkly wrestler luchador masks, but no, she chose shoes. There we go. Mama Imelda taught her daughter how to make shoes, and then later her son-in-law, and then the grandkids got roped in. Miguel was faced with the dilemma of breaking tradition. He wanted to pursue the life of a musician, but because it was forbidden in their family, his grandmother, Coco's daughter, would not allow it and destroyed his guitar.
Miguel must have felt pretty frustrated because he was expected to follow the tradition of making shoes. That was the tradition of his Mama Imelda, but but he really wanted to make music. That was his dream. You all must have maybe had that same experience where you've had a dream for yourself, but the expectations of others caused you not to follow your dream. And you may have regrets about that. And here in this church community, we may be following some traditions that have been passed down by our ancestors that don't necessarily fit us anymore. So we want you to think about that. If there's a tradition in the church or a tradition for yourself that you're following because it was the expectation of others. Think about that, and we're going to come back to it later. This month's theme is heritage. We have a deep heritage here at UUCF. Those that came before us kept our congregation going forward through the ages in an unbroken line. And as our first hymn proclaims, we honor our ancestors as Miguel's family does. So please stand as you are willing and able to sing our second hymn, number 114, Forward Through the Ages.
And now our story continues. Are you ready to inhabit your characters again? Okay. In his endeavor to follow his dreams, Miguel, would you hold up Miguel for everybody? Thank you. Miguel attempted to steal the guitar that was once owned by his idol, Ernesto de la Cruz. He thought Ernesto was his great-great-grandfather. Suddenly, Miguel found himself walking over marigold petals on the bridge to the land of the dead, amongst his ancestors living in the land of the dead. Come on up.
And Matt, can I ask you guys to unroll this? And then you guys follow and walk over the bridge.
So roll it all the way to the back. Roll it all the way but to the back. There we go. And then everybody walks to the back with them.
And look for your ancestors along the way.
Okay, roll it all the way to the back. Keep going. Yes, adults, if you can help, that would be great. Okay, and then all of our children can sit on the bridge. So go ahead and have a seat. Sit on the bridge, but you're turned this way so we can see you. In the land of the dead, Miguel met his ancestors, whose pictures he had seen on the ofrenda on Dia de los Muertos, our ofrenda up here with some of our pictures. He learned that the only way back to the land of the living is to receive a blessing from a relative. Mama Imelda, his great-great-grandmother, agreed to give her blessing, but with 2 conditions. I bet you can guess what one of those conditions are. Number 1, that Miguel goes home, puts up her picture on the ofrenda, the altar, and that he promises to never play music again.
Infuriated, Miguel sets out to find his great-great-grandfather, Ernesto. Miguel meets Hector, who agrees to help. Well, where's Hector out there? Is that the first time we said Hector?
Yes.
Who is Hector? Sibby is Hector. There you go. Hold him up. There you are. Good job. Miguel meets Hector, who agrees to help Miguel find Ernesto if Miguel will put the picture of Hector on the ofrenda, so that he may finally cross the bridge on Dia de los Muertos. Miguel soon realizes that Hector is his true great-great-grandfather, not Ernesto. All the songs that Ernesto sang were songs that Hector wrote for his family, and everyone's favorite song, Remember Me, was written for his daughter, Coco. By the end of the story, Ernesto's true identity is revealed, and Miguel goes home with the blessing of Imelda and Hector without any conditions. He then returns home and sings Remember Me to his great-grandmother, Coco. All right, come on back to the living, everyone.
To the land of the living, you've now received your blessing. You may now come back up.
Good job. You made it back.
Coco hears the song, Remember Me. She remembers her father, Papa Hector, singing it to her and gets the strength to tell her story of music and happiness with Papa Hector and Mama Imelda. The entire family believes the story and finally accepts music back into their life. The whole family celebrates Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, together, honoring their ancestors with lots of music and singing. Remember when I asked you about a dream that you had that you were not able to pursue because of expectations of others? Well, now we are going to pair up with somebody, so youth and adults alike are going to pair up with one other person and share those dreams, if you have one. So we're going to take 3 minutes to do this, find a partner, and you guys can go out and choose an adult that you want to talk with. You can leave your characters here.
And we're not asking you to report back on the conversation. It's just having a conversation because we're encouraging multi-generational connection. So just talk with somebody you didn't come with, hopefully, and just can share on a dream that perhaps you weren't able to pursue or something that maybe came up for you with the story. We'll ring the tinctures when our time is up for sharing. So please go share with someone that is around you. thank you, everyone. I know that that was probably a little outside of your comfort zone, so we appreciate you taking the risk and trying something a little new. I would also, if any of our children came back to their seats, I ask you to come back up here for just one more thing. So we are going to do a teacher dedication. A couple of weeks ago, Corey Cortez, our RE coordinator, who unfortunately she is very sick, so I'm feeling kind of sad for her not being here today. So she did a teacher training that equipped our RE teachers for their work with our children and youth. And there are many more children and youth who are not here today, so this is a representative group that we have here. Today we will dedicate these teachers and give them our support. Let us take a moment to dedicate and commission those among us who have chosen to take on the important responsibility of teaching. At this time, I invite all those here who are going to teach RE this year at UCF to come to the front of the sanctuary. I ask you to come stand over in this corner over there. Look at all these amazing volunteers. All right. You might want to stand, okay. All right. So to our teachers, to all of our teachers, in taking on this responsibility, you have committed yourselves to nurturing the spirits of the youngest members of this congregation. Do you promise now, before them and this congregation, to do your best to honor them, teach them, and nurture their religious growth as Unitarian Universalists? If so, please say, we do. We do. To all of our children and young people, so this is your part, okay? All right. To all of our children and young people, do you, the children and young people of UCF, do you promise to honor, respect, and nurture these teachers with your hearts and with your minds? If you do, please say, we do. We do. All right. To our congregation, do you, the congregation, promise these teachers and these young people your support, knowing that religion cannot be taught only in a classroom, but must also be encouraged in the home and beyond? If so, say, we do. We do. To our teachers, thank you for taking up the challenge of this good work. May you have fun, grow, and learn together, and be a continuing example of the importance of religious education, both to us gathered here and to the world beyond. And yes, now let us thank them for all of their work. Thank you so much. And as we conclude and everyone goes to take a seat, Diana is going to play the song Remember Me from the Pixar movie Coco.
A perfect heart is one that has known love and loss, joy and sorrow. The perfect heart is one that has been shared. As joys and sorrows of our community are shared, please direct your energies and prayers and meditations as a gift of compassion and strength. If there are any joys and sorrows. Light 3 candles for the intentions that rest in the silent sanctuary of our hearts. One for the joys, one for the sorrows, and one for the strength of this community that supports each other in peace. And today is Caring Sunday, as Aaron mentioned earlier. So as we take this offering, if your offering is for Freedom House, please put it in the marked envelope.
Let us take this wonderful energy that we've experienced today and just feel it in our bodies. Maybe you need to shake it out a little bit. Maybe you just need to move your back around. Maybe you're a little sore from sitting for so long. Just feel your feet on the floor and bring your whole energy and your presence to this space. Thank you all for being so willing to participate and experiment. It really, I think, brings new energy into our life together. I'm just going to give a short reflection because I think it's so important for us to think about how this story and how our community, how everything reflects back to the lives and the lives we want to have in the own way that we live. So in the story of Coco that you heard, and remember this was a very short summation, Miguel has a desire to live his authentic life. He wants to play music, even though it goes against his family's wishes. This had been drilled into him all of his life. We do not play music. He didn't know why, though. All he knew was we don't play music. That is not what we do. We are not those people. Ever heard something like that? We are not those people. Those people are bad. But then something about life calls to you. You want to do whatever that is, but you don't know why. Maybe you're different in your family for whatever reason. So through his travels through the land of the dead, he learns that there are misunderstandings and incomplete information that lead to the banishment of music. Sometimes when you're told you can't do something, and sometimes people tell you can't do something, but they don't tell you why. What is the bigger story here? Maybe they don't know the bigger story. Maybe that story was handed down to them, and then eventually the person who's telling you doesn't even know why themselves. It's just, we don't do that here. And so he goes to the land of the dead, and then he finds out some hard truths and some bad things that happened to his great-great-great-grandfather and how that story had been passed down and influenced his own life. Like Miguel, we learned this weekend at our startup retreat about how some old stories going back many decades have repeatedly told here, sometimes not even told, but their behaviors continue. With each of us through time, and some people who aren't even here, everybody has different pieces of these information and these stories, and how some of those stories have affected how we behave now, and the things we say, we do this, we don't do that, and without always knowing why. I really appreciated so many of you being willing to share and be vulnerable about the stories that have happened, and sometimes some of you still have some of that pain in some of those stories, and I just want to honor that. We don't say everything just disappears. Those stories are still impacting us. That doesn't make it bad. It's just how we continue to live. So while we can't undo old patterns and behaviors in one fell swoop, like in the story, the Disney story, everything just ties up really nicely, and then there's a 1 year coming together and you see all happy things. Well, we know in life that doesn't really happen, right? We know that we're all still carrying some things, but we know that they are still influencing us. The challenge for us is to becoming more and more self-aware of what is driving my behavior, what is driving the behavior of the community I'm in. Is it really true that I can't play music? What is the truth? And can I be open to still learning from somebody who may have told me I can't do something? There's still some pieces of truth in that. What is the story for them, and how can we continue to learn? At the end of Coco, Miguel's family accepts music into their lives. They don't fully apologize for the way they treated Miguel, but they do kind of acknowledge and move forward. Sometimes that's all that's needed. Sometimes, like last week when we talked about Yom Kippur, sometimes it's more of, I need to say this. Miguel's family accepts music into their lives, and they put the great-great-grandfather's picture on the ofrenda. Like all Disney and Pixar movies, the story has a tidy ending. Real life, as we all know, isn't quite that way. I'm sure many of you can think of examples from your own lives where things didn't quite end the way you wanted them to, but you learned how to move on. So this month from Soul Matters, like Barb mentioned before, this month of October, our focus is on heritage. There will be readings and blog posts and different ways we're interacting with our own heritage and with the heritage of the UU world. We will explore ways we've learned to make promises, take risks, times when we've broken our promises, and times when we have begun again in love, just like we sung about last week. We begin again. Our heritage is beautiful and complex. Let us be gentle with each other as we learn and grow together. And I especially wanted to say this on a multi-gen Sunday so that we get the opportunity to experience people and everybody of all ages. So I want to just encourage you to look around the room and send a blessing to others here in the space of the growth that we have experienced just this past weekend and ongoing, for what is the multi-generational blessing that we see from both the past and where we are heading into the future. Let's take a moment to just look around and just with your eyes saying, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you all, and may it be so. And so now Barb is going to introduce our closing song.
When we sang the first hymn today, we remembered those who came before us. As we sing the second hymn, I'm on my way, we recognize that it is up to us to pave the path to the future. Let's accept that call together and rise as you are willing and able to sing hymn number 116, I Am on My Way.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way to the freedom land. To the freedom land. I'm on my way.
We'll have our closing words, and then a new thing that we've been doing for our multi-gen Sundays is repeating that song and we all walk out. So we keep up the energy of the last song that we sang. From our Universalist heritage, we are all loved. Our Unitarian heritage, we are one. May we be blessed as we continue our congregational life together, building new ways of being, breaking promises sometimes, and renewing them always. May it be so. Amen.